Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so tonight our card is the Three of Cups. That has everything to do with abundance. Okay, let's see what we have. It looks like we have a person at a door. You can see we have somebody standing right here. It almost looks like they have like kind of their hair in a ponytail, in a little dress there. And it looks like we have a big door right here. Okay, and maybe the doorknob here and maybe the little knocker or peephole there. Hello, T. Hello. And so I feel this is kind of a moment in your life where you are stepping into a new room of your interior mansion. No. But yeah, maybe kind of. I think that you are coming into this new era of your life. There really has been so much progress this last year for you, Pisces. And I feel like you've really gotten into your groove of creativity, of making resources for yourself, maybe making more money, and even more money than that will come. And I think that you are enjoying the work that you're doing, and probably more so than you have maybe ever. Whenever I have been doing the Pisces readings, I keep seeing this repeating kind of undertone of just confidence rising, proving yourself to yourself, and I think that the people around you are really, they're witnessing this kind of blooming of your personality, of, just the way that you're living your life. I think you've really found like your stride with things. And I think this has created a space where you're really productive. You are having a lot of inspiration. The muse is with you constantly. And I think overall your mood has been elevated. It's very high vibrating energy here. And so we come to this door, and I think, you are more than eager to open it and see what is the next thing. What is your next project going to be? What is the next goal that you have? How will you kind of conquer, this next portion of your hero's quest that you are on? And I think that you really, with this, and it seems like a child, okay? And I think that is because you really have come to each of these tasks in your life recently with a really open heart, right? There's a sense of kind of letting yourself be open and vulnerable, and really kind of ready for the inspirations of the world to kind of guide you, and that's really kind of the only is. You have to get into that kind of interior child mode to be able to live that way. It is like when you are young and you kind of live in these spaces that feel so imaginative. You're full of wonder and awe and exploring and experiencing things for the first time, and you're just taking in all of this information. And as we get older, we really I think that we forget how it feels to live that way, because we're so we're so busy with our responsibilities. Our vision of life gets more and more narrow because we have so many things to tend to. And often we don't grow, with the world. Okay, TT, you gotta, you either have to go or you have to stop licking my face. And so, I think it is. We find our thing and we kind of just get into our comfort zone and we stick to that. And then we get into these places in life where, we're evolving. We're going through this real transformative period, and it's exciting and it's scary. And, there are a lot of unknowns, but it is so worth it because, what else is there in life, really? Sometimes we have to we have to be brave, and we have to open that door and see what's on the other side. What is waiting for us next? What is next on this big adventure that we are on? Okay, so now we have a 100. So we have 100. I'm going to turn this. Oh, we have a cat. Look at that. The eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the ears. Okay, we have a big cat here coming through. And it looks like we have two maybe children or two people. I almost wonder if they're playing like hockey. It looks like this one is holding like a hockey stick, or maybe like field hockey, or golf. It could be, I guess. But it looks like they're close together, so it does feel like it's kind of more of a a sport that maybe has a little contact in it, which golf would not, right? But it feels like some kind of competitive sport. And I wonder if this is not, well, I just feel like there's this feeling of going back to this nostalgic feeling here. Now the cat, I wonder if this is a cat that you had in your life, a companion from maybe childhood, or maybe like in your teen years, which would make sense with the competitive sports. Maybe you played sports in school. But I do think this period of time is really coming up for some reason, and I think this has to do with this feeling of the inner child work. But I also wonder if you have maybe like a graduation, like a school reunion coming up. Maybe your class is having one of their significant years. I'm trying to think. But also, it might be that, I don't know, maybe it's a grandchild that plays sports, and you're kind of excited for the season that is coming up. Maybe you are a parent that goes to like a lot of tournaments, or you're always at all the practices and this kind of thing. But the cat feels like this is from childhood. It really, because of the way it looks, and I just can imagine this is almost like a cat stuffed animal, like kind of like a Beanie Baby type of thing, or something. It's kind of floppy because it just kind of looks like it's laying there, and I don't know why it just feels like it's something really important that you've been thinking about, or just that period of time has really come up for you. And so I don't know exactly what that is, but it seems like it really has kind of change the atmosphere of your life right now in a positive way. Okay, I think this is a happy time for you. And I do think that that there is a sense of, well, I feel like there's almost like a sense of love happening too. Now, when we turn it this way, it kind of looks like we have a crab. And I almost wonder if you have had or are having a relationship with maybe a Cancer person or a person who has the attributes of a crab. So somebody who's like kind of emotionally reserved. They wear their armor all the time, right? And they're pretty skittish, okay? But they're calm, they're kind. Usually they're people who they're very focused on the work or their interests. They're can almost to the point of being kind of fixated, and it can be hard to kind of get them to pay attention, or they pay attention, but they don't necessarily always engage on the same energy level. Okay. But I think that you really do love this person. And I think that with your excitement about your life, the way that you have shifted into this place of being more and more successful, learning how to make money doing things that you love. And, you just burped right in my face, Mama. She goes and drinks a bunch of water, and then she comes up here and burps in my face. Right in my face. Okay. Where was I? Where you are learning to make, money, doing the things that you love. And really this confidence growing in yourself, being so expressive. And I think that your person, or maybe you haven't met them yet, I don't know, but this person is very attracted to that energy, very attracted to you. And I think that your relationships are flourishing because you've come into this place of really, it's like you know yourself better than you ever have. You are more yourself than you ever have been. And there is no need to kind of hide or put on airs or, whatever it is that we do, right? We all do this, especially when we're not feeling good in our own life. But I think when we get to a point where it's like we feel like we know what we're doing, kind of, or we know enough that we know we will never know what we're doing, or just doing our best, right? I think that a confidence really comes from that understanding. And you maybe, hold yourself in a higher esteem. There's a sense of not really bending to the will of others in ways that affect you negatively. And I think that this person in your life is just, I think that they're attracted to it, but I also think that it motivates them to do more for themselves, to do the self-work, to try to get into a place where they feel this confident, in their own abilities, in their own kind of holistic knowing. And I think that you probably make wonderful friends or wonderful lovers, wonderful partnership. And, and I think that there's a lot of happiness to be had there. Okay. And I think in this, next cycle is, things just even continue to get better and better and better for you. I do feel like this is spreading through your relationships. I think it's becoming very clear that you have a profound effect on others around you. And people seeing that you are doing well and you have figured out, something about life that maybe they don't understand. And maybe, even you don't understand it fully, but you know that it's working for you. I could see people kind of being like flocking towards you to, just be in your presence, to kind of get some of that good mojo that you have going. And, and I don't think that you're too adverse to this. Even though I think, usually Pisces people, not all, but, some, I would say a good deal of Pisces people mostly just kind of want to do their own thing. You're not super worried about having a lot of friends or acquaintances or anything like this. But those people who you love and care about, yeah, you absolutely would do anything for them. And so I think in sharing this energy, and kind of being a positive influence for people, you are really in a place of I was going to say in a place of power, but it is a power place, if that makes sense. Not a place of power, like you're ruling over others, but is a power place where there is a lot of power derived. Okay. And that's a wonderful, that's a wonderful thing. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? TT with your little burps. Your cat. Okay. Now I'm looking at this as a stump. And it kind of does. It reminds me of a home being in a tree, which where I come from in Northern California, I remember seeing trees turned into little homes up in the redwood forests. I remember I even saw one that was like a bowling alley on this huge tree and it makes you want to cry thinking about these trees being cut down, but because they're just, if you've never been to the redwood forest, it's hard to explain how magical it is. And I've shared before, I lived near South Lake Tahoe for a while when I was a kid. And then I spent a lot of time up by Shasta and Lawson. And it just is another universe. It's absolutely, if you have any kind of psychic or clairvoyance or, connection, you're maybe an animist or you have a connection to plant life and animals and such, going to the Pacific Northwest, but especially down there in this certain area, it's like being in a room full of symphony, like a choir, or I don't know how to explain it exactly, but it's so harmonious, but there's so many things communicating, and it's so it's just beautiful. Everything is in its right place. Everything seems just absolutely divine there. I'm looking at this and I'm feeling like it's like you're finding your place. You're finding that place in life that feels, oh, don't growl me, please. No, you have to go now. No, don't growl me. Go on. Go find Poppy. I get scared when she's sitting on me, and then she growls right in my face because I have to move her a little bit. I don't want to get scratched. You can see she doesn't scratch anybody else in this house except for Mom. Mom gets the scratches. So, anyways, yes. So I feel like you're finding your place in like that feels magical like this. And this can be in the physical world. I mean, maybe you do. You have a place that you go to. You, whenever, you have an extra few hours, or you can spend the day hiking, or, going camping, or, going for a stroll, going out there and sitting by the water and just kind of watching, the birds and things. I feel like this is a place that you're really drawn to. Now, it doesn't have to be a physical place. This could be your interior as well. Your interior landscape. Now, it's not unlike the places you visit in your dreams. It maybe even shows up in your dream world. But this is a place that, lives right behind your eyelids, pretty much. You just, through things like active imagination or kind of guided meditation, these are landscapes that become accessible to us through practice. And we go there and we know this is a place where our soul has lived for, infinite time. These are places that we know, through many cycles. Not just one little fraction of life. This is a place where, maybe this is like where you come from, ultimately. And so, I feel like there's a real deep connection to this. So if you have been maybe having dreams about a place that it's like a repetitive dream, and it could be over many years, it feels very familiar because you've dreamt about it over and over, but it's also familiar because it's like you've been there, this place. And so, I challenge you to write about it, maybe paint it or draw it, sketch it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to, as you're writing about it, it doesn't have to even be coherent. It could be random phrases or words and doodles and whatever. But to get into the practice of trying to, capture a little fragment of what your impressions are, this helps you in your experience of looking at the details, feeling, what does it smell like there? What are the colors like? What does the air feel like? What does all of the material around you feel like? The textures, is it kind of wet? Is it really dry? Is it in the middle of the desert? These kinds of things. And they become more and more prominent the more you take time to document them, to really think about them. And so it's a good technique for remembering. It's a good technique for accessing these places. It's not unlike how they tell you to begin lucid dreaming, where you begin to kind of just write down whatever fragments you bring back. And as you get deeper and deeper into it, you are able to recall more things. And then at some point you become aware within your dreams because you have been, in there considering them more and more. Suddenly you start to realize, okay, now I'm here. I'm in the dream, And so, yes, it definitely worthwhile if you have the time and will. Okay, so we have an arrow going this way. We also have a cup. We have a person kind of walking towards the cup. We have the sun. So I do feel like there's a sense of emotions really being revealed here. And the cup looks like it's kind of spilling over. So with this sun, the soul, there is no place to kind of hide things. Everything is out in the open. So I do feel like there's this kind of movement towards really just putting all of the feelings out there. Just being very kind of open and honest and and brave. And I think in this experience there is a lot of release. I think it will feel so much better once it is just said, right? And so yes, I think this will be a beautiful and profound time for you. I think there's a lot of love here. There is. And not only the love, there's just this continued growth and an ability to, do the work that you want to do in a way that is profound. It's very meaningful. And that is maybe one of the biggest blessings in life, to be able to find some meaning in the work. Okay, so we're going to go over here and we're going to take a look at the Dreamer's deck. And we are going to stop where it feels right. And we'll read this together. It says, I know that my journey will have highs and lows. I am aiming for progress. There we go. It's been about progress so much for Pisces these last months, and I'm so happy to see that. All right, Pisces, 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 I'm going to tell you right off the top here, I love you, and I thank you, and I thank you, and I thank you. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. I almost forgot what I was going to say. It is always an honor. It is. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps the channel a lot. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. It is free to subscribe. And what else? What's the last thing? Oh, if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. I absolutely look forward to communicating with you all. So with that, again, I will say I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in just a few days. Good night, good night, good night.